Hey guys, my name is Bianca Nadia and I am a sophomore for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so initially my goal was to learn more about coding, creating websites, and really more about computer science related material. Although we did learn about HTML, this course was not at all what I expected, which is totally fine because I learned a lot regardless. Okay, so for Module 2, I learned about fair use and the 4 types of licenses. Starting with fair use. Fair use is using copyright material with the intent of using it for education purposes, news reports, reviews, or magazines. As long as you use an appropriate amount and use it purposefully, it's considered fair use. This is especially useful as I further my academic career because at some point I may be required to write a paper that may encourage the fair use doctrine. Now moving on to the 4 types of licenses: non-commercial, share-alike, attribution, and non-derivative. For the purposes of this video, I won't go on into explaining all 4. I'll just explain one: non-commercial. Non-commercial means that you cannot use the content for commercial purposes. This is essential to know these licenses when you consider reusing someone's creation. Now for the things I didn't catch a tight grip on. Creative Commons. I understand that the creator can limit how/when to use their work. I don't understand how to obtain a Creative Commons license. How do you know if someone has a Creative Commons license? I think the module focused heavily on defining the terms that it didn't explain further in depth into the background information. Another thing I didn't quite understand when it came to copywriting is how people know if you're using their content. What happens if you don't give them credit correctly? How do you get penalized? Or do you even get penalized? On to the second topic, Module 5. Again, starting off with what I learned. Password sniffing. Password sniffing is a software application that tries to detect your password through scanning and recording passwords that are used or broadcasted on a computer and steals your personal information. This will be useful knowledge to have as I further my interest in computer science. I also was able to learn more about denial of service, which pretty much crashes your computer entirely or temporarily. This happened to my roommate, and she had to buy a new laptop. Knowing that her laptop didn't die because it was old, but because it was an overload of services that the requests could not be filled, would have been useful information at that time. Lastly, one thing I didn't understand, and one thing I wish this module would have included. First, for what I didn't understand, worms. How does a worm replicate itself? What types of security holes does it rely on? I would love to learn more in depth about the worms because it's something that I didn't know about prior to this course. Now for what I wish this module did include is how to prevent the attack right beneath the definition. I didn't realize that the module included it further in, so I decided to do my own research. So pretty much I just wish that for all the cyber attacks, I wish they would define it and then provide how to prevent it so I could avoid going through the hassle of doing my own research. But overall, this was a pretty solid module. I learned more in depth of what certain things were, and I greatly appreciated it. I was hoping to learn about programming languages such as Python, Java, or Linux. I didn't know at the time when I registered for this course that it was not related to computer science. I just saw create website and I assumed it dealt with it. This would benefit me because while I was taking this course, I was also taking computer fluency, so I was hoping that each course would kind of feed off each other, resulting in a better comprehension of security, artificial intelligence, and programming. The topic I appreciated was the one on Internet of Things. Exactly when I got through learning about IoT, we were required to do a research paper on computer fluency course. And to say the least, I was ahead of everyone. As for skills, I think just learning about how to properly cite has benefited me greatly, especially right now more than ever, because I have a 10-page paper due, and I've been using the skills that I learned on that paper. With that, I am efficiently able to find scholarly sources and know for the fact that it's scholarly.